This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
And that's enough!
What a fight. The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive?
Knockout victory!
An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen.
Unbelievable!
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
Welcome once again, fight fans, to Orlando, Florida and Universal Studios for Challenger Series action. Week 5, it's the women's flyweights making their debuts on Fubo Sports. If you're not familiar with how the Challenger Series works, well, here it is. Every night we've got 4 fights, but only 1 contract to give away. 4 fight winners are eligible for the contract, but we narrow down the 4 winners to 2 finalists. Then the celebrity panel weighs in. You, the fans at home, have a chance to vote to help decide who wins a contract. And the winner gets themselves a PFL contract. Sean O'Connell here once again alongside Kenny Florian. We are 5 weeks into 8 straight weeks, Kenny, and this is a new division, freshening it up here at the Challenger Series. We've never had women's flyweights in the PFL before, but someone earns a contract tonight and potentially makes themselves a foundational piece of the PFL roster.
Yeah, that's right. And it's a talent-rich division as well. So great moment for women's mixed martial arts. Tremendous opportunity and some great female fighters back there.
Let's take a look at the 4 fights we have. And remember, only 1 contract to give away. We start the night with Helen Peralta and Lisa Malden. Then from there, it's Myra Mazar taking on Dirty Des Yanez. Shayna Young taking on Sandra Lovato. That's a catchweight bout because Lovato failed to make weight. And we'll wrap things up with our main event, Caitlin Neal taking on Catherine Corginas. You can see Caitlin Neal is a big-time favorite, as is Shayna Young. Des Yanez is the only blue corner fighter who finds herself as a favorite tonight. And Helen Peralta, very aggressive, and so are the odds in her favor. All right, I told you that our celebrity panel was going to weigh in to help us decide who earns a contract tonight. Let's introduce the celebrity panel. Former first-round NFL draft pick, NFL quarterback Sam Darnold. Welcome to the PFL Challenger Series. What's it going to take to impress you and get your vote for a contract?
Yeah, I think for me, my time in the NFL, it's about containing your emotions and allowing the containment of your emotions to go out there and allow you to go out and execute on the field. And so I think for these fighters, it's about who can do that and ultimately impress us and the fans and earn that PFL contract they're all fighting for.
And Paige Van Zandt is back. Paige, nobody else here has fought at the highest level of mixed martial arts at 125 pounds, so you know this weight class better than any of us. What does it take to earn your vote?
This is an extremely deep weight division. You know, the 125 division across all promotion is extremely talented. What the PFL is doing here is allowing these extremely talented women to come out here and perform for us in the hopes of getting a contract. And I've seen these women throw down, and we're in for a really good show. All
right, Megan Anderson, this is the biggest opportunity of most of these women's fight careers. Are the lights too bright?
I mean, potentially. We're about to find out who is not going to let those lights get to them, put on a performance, leave it all out on the canvas, and impress us on their way to that PFL contract.
Well, because we have 2 high-level female mixed martial artists here, we sent them backstage to give some words of encouragement to our challengers tonight.
What's up, guys? I'm here just to give you a little pep talk. Obviously, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You're here to fight for a PFL contract. It's not enough just to win. You have to be the one standout fighter that goes out and shows everybody that you're the person who deserves to be in the PFL right now. So go show them what women are made of.
Huge opportunity for you three tonight. What I'm looking for is for the one person who is putting it all on the line, who is leaving it all out there on the canvas. I know all three of you incredibly high-level athletes. I'm so excited to see what you can be capable of tonight. Make sure that you are the one that everybody wants to be talking about at the end of the night. So go out there, do what you know that you can do, and put on an amazing show.
All right, Kenny, as you know, we showed you the odds earlier, but sometimes it's hard to bet because these are rising prospects. Sometimes hard to find fight footage and know which way that you should wager. We have an expert, though, that helps us with all this. His name is Ian Parker. He joins us right now and gives us the winning bets for tonight. What do you have for us, Ian?
Thanks, Sean. Well, tonight I got two separate type of wagers. I'm going to go with a three-way parlay, and we're going to go with a separate money line bet. Let's start off first fight of the night. I'm going Peralta over Maldin. I really like the power in her hands, the speed. I think she can keep this fight standing, and she's going to be the first leg of our parlay. Second, I'm going with Shauna Young here. Her opponent didn't make weight. I think her stand-up, her athleticism, if she wants to take the fight to the ground, I think she's more than capable. Now, if you look at the betting big board here, these lines keep going down. The odds keep getting lesser, closer to a positive number. Last but not least, I'm going with Caitlin Neal. Her opponent's taking this on short notice. I think she's the more well-rounded fighter. And I think tonight is her night to shine. So we're going to lock that in at minus 101, almost even money for three huge favorites. So let's place that. Last but not least, I'm going with Yanez. I liked her as an underdog last week. Now she's the favorite. She's scrappy, aggressive, good hands, good power. I think she gets it done tonight and impresses. And she's going to be our sole money line play of the night. Back to you, Sean.
All right, thank you. If you've been following along, Ian has been killing it on his Challenger Series wager. Without further ado, PFL Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports. Our first bout of the evening is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps Helen Peralta, taking on Lisa Malden. Here in the Challenger Series, we give the fighters an opportunity to introduce themselves, courtesy of Puncher's Chance Kentucky Bourbon. First, the blue corner.
From Orange County, California, fighting out of Team Oyama with a record of 4-3, Lisa Malden. If I got signed by the PFL, it would mean absolutely the most, because just by this experience alone just shows me like how PFL treats their fighters and how they take care of them. It's really just, it's awesome. So I'm excited, and to get a contract would be a cherry on top. It would mean the world to me because I worked so hard for this.
There is Lisa Malden inside of the cage. You can see the underdog here on the card. And now we meet the red corner.
Representing the Dominican Republic and fighting out of Fairfield, Iowa, with a record of 6-3, Helen Ianza Peralta. I do meditate every day. It keeps the murder rate down around me so that I can put up with people's stupidity. So my level of tolerance for stupidity rises after a good meditation. The nighttime meditation is one that I cannot skip because my brain is very active, and if I don't take some quiet time before going to bed, it's gonna be really hard for me to fall asleep.
There's Helen Peralta. Big favorite, as we mentioned earlier. Fighting out of a tiny town in Iowa, but representing Dominican Republic, where she's from. Tail of the tape brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. Helen Peralta, at 34, is 2 years older than her opponent. Lisa Malden is the taller fighter, 5-inch advantage on the height. But the reach advantage on both arms and legs actually favors Peralta. Marcos Perez will oversee the action tonight inside of our cage. Peralta in the black, Malden in the gray. No touch of the gloves, and we are underway here in Orlando, Florida. Big overhand right, and Malden goes right underneath it into a takedown.
Yeah, Peralta really telegraphed that one a little bit. Malden, excellent level change, beautiful timing there. Peralta trying to sit up. Looks like she's trying to maybe attack an arm. Oh, now going for the triangle here.
Throws her right leg up over the shoulder of Lisa Malden, who now will try and back herself out of this attempt.
Yeah, she's going to try to lock it up, unable to do so. Now switches to the omoplata, the shoulder lock there with her legs.
Nice work here by Peralta, stringing some submission attempts together. Malden trying to grab hold of that right leg, negate the movement as Peralta attempts to sit up and put some strain on that shoulder.
This could be a very difficult submission to finish, especially in mixed martial arts, but for Malden, she needs to retain control. Her arm is totally safe. This is where Peralta really needs to utilize this move to try to get back to her feet.
Sneaks a right hand in from the seated position. Some creativity there from Peralta.
Nice job there by Malden. Uses that leg as a lever to put her right on her back. Well done.
And now Malden up on top of Peralta. Paige Van Zandt, one part of our celebrity panel tonight. You got Malden on top. Is this where Peralta wants to be?
This isn't where Peralta wants to be, but honestly, I'm impressed with her submission defense. She's thrown up some amazing submissions for herself. This isn't really what I expected at the beginning of this fight. We kind of expected a bloodbath, given both of their fighter testimonies going into this, expecting a war. Yeah, not what we expected, but so far some high-level jiu-jitsu being shown.
So, Megan, a striking background for both women, but right now we're in a grappling match.
Well, Peralta knew that Malden wanted to take her down to the ground in this fight, so I'm very surprised that she is comfortable off her back. She is, like Paige said, throwing up some decent submissions, and she's limiting Malden's ability to really create space and cause damage, but I would love to see her get back up to be able to use that power that we all know she's capable of.
And joining us remotely, Sam Darnold, a back-and-forth chess match on the ground so far. Is this what you expected?
Yeah, you know, I think obviously it wasn't what we necessarily expected out of these two, but I think it was a smart takedown early on, kind of Malden keeping Peralta on her toes, and we'll see what happens here. But you know, these two are fighting a really good fight on the ground right now.
Ian Parker, tell me how your wager is looking early.
You know what? I'm going to echo what everyone's saying. We didn't expect the fight to go here, but Peralta's doing all the damage on the ground. Malden got the takedown, but she's literally landed maybe 1 or 2 strikes. The strikes are coming from Peralta. The submissions are there. So I do agree she should stand up, but she's winning the fight off her back right now.
So, Kenny, Ian brings up a really interesting point. It has been Peralta with the, I think, more effective attacks from the bottom, but in that case, you're really relying on the judges to notice that.
Yeah, this is true. You know, but I agree. Listen, I think Peralta has been more effective with her grappling. The takedown aside, she's been the one that has been attacking, throwing up submissions. Hasn't always been successful, but has certainly put Malden on the defensive. So interesting stuff. I think Malden is starting to chip away. She's landing some more shots, landing some bigger shots. She's having a problem with the legs of Peralta. She's really pushing on the wrong spots and not able to step up and over the legs of Helen Peralta.
You see Peralta right now double wrist control, and then she throws a hammer fist. That time, Malden was able to sneak a left hand in, hammer fist from the bottom for Peralta. And now she'll try and work herself up.
There she goes. There's the much better position. She could set up an arm triangle here if she has the ability to get around those legs. She could finish to the left side as we're looking from above. Doing a much better job managing the legs here, Malden is. Now, nice reset there by Peralta to get back to her guard.
Malden staying heavy on top. Peralta continues to try and chip away from the bottom. There's a couple of nice left hands. Back to the head goes Malden. Final few seconds of this first round of the evening, and we will see a second frame when we come back on Fubo Sports.
Malden coming in just underneath that overhand, takes her down.
From Peralta.
Finally clears this omoplata attempt
nice
after a
job there
failed
by
triangle
Malden.
attempt.
Uses that leg as a lever to put her right
And
on
then
her
it
back.
was
Well
just
And now Malden
Peralta attacking submissions off her back always looking to throw up triangles, looking for omoplatas, looking for those attacks, landing some shots, but Malden was just staying on top, controlling the positions, landing some shots. Very, very close round. Let's see what these girls bring for round two.
Was effective off her back.
Sean agreed. I think it was a difficult round to score. I think Peralta was staying very active, was staying aggressive and effective. And she said she has a tendency of getting off to a slow start. She said she kind of needs to get hit to kind of wake up and get that fire going. And let's see if she makes any of those adjustments and starts to get more aggressive on the feet here against Malden. She just needs to be smarter. I think she started out aggressive in round one, but really telegraphed her punch and allowed Malden to level change to take her down.
There's another big right hand from Peralta. Right now it's been winging punches from Peralta versus the straight laser strikes of Malden as another overhand right comes from the Dominican. Peralta switching her stances back and forth, trying to give Malden some mixed up looks as a hook lands.
Yeah, there we saw a little bit of her style. Peralta likes to call it calculated brawling. She's landing some nice overhand rights there. Nice little blitz by Malden.
Malden wore that one, no problem. There's Coach Oyama in Malden's corner.
Nice. Run it. Okay, position. Start to climb. Protect your neck.
Your legs to side control.
Protect
Don't
that
go
neck,
close.
Lisa. Protect that neck.
Circle your legs to side control, Lisa. Let's go. Don't let her settle in on that.
Protect that neck.
Don't let her settle in on it. Go to
So the head outside single gets Peralta back down to the ground, and now so Megan Anderson, we're back on the ground here. This is where Malden wants to fight, it seems.
Yeah, and very, very smart decision to be able to run that single. Peralta was having some success with those big shots, and while she wasn't setting them up, she was able to give Malden an opportunity to shoot in and capitalize on that space.
Paige, we saw Peralta be aggressive off her back in round number one, but it looks like Malden has started to figure that out. What does Peralta need to do?
You know, Peralta, I would like her to go back to kind of the striking that I saw her do in bare knuckle boxing. It was a little bit more precise. Her feet were underneath her, not letting herself open up to these positions to be taken down, and now she's stuck on her back yet again. So I think if she could just really tighten up her striking, she was having a lot of success with those power shots, but let's put more together and keep our feet underneath us.
Sam Darnold, it's not just about winning at the Challenger Series. You also have to impress. It's not you versus your opponent. It's you versus all the other winners. This is a fairly conservative approach for Malden. Is that the recipe for success tonight?
I mean, you know, we'll see. I think she is doing a good job of those couple takedowns early on, but at the end of the day, you know, selfishly, I would love to see these guys go to the feet and brawl it out. But, you know, I think Malden's doing a great job here, especially with a submission try. But, yeah, I think Malden's just got to keep doing what she's doing. She has a game plan. I feel like she's sticking to it.
Malden almost had that leg lock there. Hard to see if she was trying to go for a straight foot lock or that inside heel hook, which puts a lot of pressure on the inside of the knee. She decided to bail and get up, but Peralta was able to get up as well.
Some knees as Malden finds herself pressed against the barrier. Peralta with the high underhook here. Double underhooks now for Peralta. Inside of 1 minute in the second round.
Malden trying to wrap up that front guillotine. Peralta able to kind of turn to her back there.
Malden looking maybe now for a Kimura grip on the left arm of Peralta. Peralta sniffs it out, moves her body over to negate that control.
Malden trying to frame on the neck of Peralta, create a little space to get those knees going. There's the tie clinch now. Peralta with a nice knee there. And Malden returns. Nice exchanges in this clinch there, Sean.
Left hand on the exit there for Malden. Peralta comes back swinging in the final seconds of round 2. And the third frame when we return on Fubo Sports.
A little bit different.
Aggressive in round 1, but really telegraphed her punch and allowed
A little bit of a groove here at the beginning of the round. First 2 minutes, you can see she lands a few overhand rights, lands a hook, but once again, Lisa Malden was able to get her to the mat, defend her attacks, attack the submission here, was looking for the ankle lock, good defense.
Take down stray grays and beef up patchy areas with Just for Men's new one-day beard and brow color. Scan that QR code to learn more about this temporary gray fighter that stays put till you wash it out. Just for Men is the official beard color brand of the PFL. Helen Peralta, Lisa Malden here. First of 4 women's flyweight bouts in week 5 of Challenger Series action. There is Helen Peralta. Round 3. According to Marina there. Front kick on the open from Malden. A lot of diversity and skill set shown by Malden in this fight. Takedowns, some submission attempts.
Yeah, I agree, Sean. She's got those long limbs. She knows how to use them. And it's a good idea against Peralta, who wants to be on the inside.
Peralta bowls her way in. Megan Anderson told us to expect that. She said this woman is a bulldozer, and that was the method there in the early seconds of round 3. You can see the strength as Peralta continuing now with her back to the cage, trying to reposition.
Yeah, but you got to question the tactic here. She got in a little too tight, allows Malden to get those underhooks.
They're able to spin herself off the cage. And Kenny, I say it every time we see a fight settle into this position. It's not as visually exciting as some other things, but it is as grueling as it comes in the sport.
Yeah, no question about it.
Couple of knees on the inside there from Lisa Malden in the gray.
And Sean, you see the head position right here from Malden. She's using that as a frame to keep Peralta out on the outside. Also looking for underhooks here underneath the armpits as well to try to get that inside control.
She grabbed the tie clinch there for just a moment. And there's a little toss courtesy of that step across. Nice work. Lisa Malden once again on top and directly into side control.
Yeah, beautiful takedown there. Has excellent control. Now into the crucifix position. Briefly, Peralta able to get that left arm back in play. But that is a finishing position as she's able to pin that arm. She's going for it again here, Sean. Nice job by Peralta to get back to guard there.
Nice right hand from Lisa Malden on top. That was a sharp, straight punch.
Yeah, it sure was. Now she's getting more aggressive as well, both with her ground and pound and her ability to get up and over those legs.
Good flurry there again from the top. Malden working from inside the guard of Peralta. Half a round gone here in the third frame.
Yeah, that's what Peralta needs to do. She needs to put those feet on the hips to create space so she can get back to her feet. Malden doing a good job of controlling the end of the lever, the end of the legs there to keep Peralta on her back.
Tell you what, Kenny, I'm impressed with the way that Malden has started to figure out the striking from this guard position. She was wasting some energy in the first couple of rounds, being much more selective with her strikes, and everything she throws is more meaningful here in the third. Paige Van Zant, Malden, little judo toss to get herself back on top. It's been this every round.
It truly has been, and in these positions, I can see her getting more and more violent as the fight goes. So really, with that top control, she's causing a lot more damage. So really, I believe Lisa's pulling away the longer this fight goes, and now we got the full mount. Oh.
Full mount and some nasty strikes from the top. Malden flurrying, and there's the finish.
Wow.
The first knockout of Lisa Malden's career comes in the third round on the biggest stage she's ever fought on.
Yeah, again, just turned on at the right time. Excellent aggression, excellent job taking advantage of that mount position, raining down blows and getting the finish.
Lisa Malden, round 1 she got on top, round 2 she got on top, round 3 got on top and finished it. We'll talk to the winner next on Fubo Sports.
Here's a quick look at the entire fight. Round 1 started off just like that. Malden was able to duck under, get the takedown, escape this triangle / omoplata attempt. And then the rest of round 1 was basically Peralta looking for submissions, Malden escaping those attacks and landing shots here and there. Round 2 was a little bit different, where Peralta found a little bit of a rhythm, a little bit of a range, was landing some big shots, a couple overhand rights, a couple hooks landed. But again, she was taken down and on the mat. Even though she was at times aggressive looking for submissions, just was not executing what she needed to. Here's the submission attempt by Malden in the second round. She attacks that ankle lock. Round 3, you see her get these takedowns, and she was just finding a rhythm, just controlling better on the mat, just being more aggressive. As you can see here, trapping that arm, knee slicing through. And here, the last little exchange, Malden, you can see her in half guard, looking to pass, attacking the Kimura, attacking the body of Peralta, goes to mount, and then just perfectly executed here, makes some space and lands shot after shot. Good mount control, good punches, gets the finish in the third round. Excellent work by Lisa Malden with that third round TKO victory.
PFL Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports. Remember, fight fans, you can watch the PFL and much more on Fubo. You can get over 100 live channels of sports, shows, and lots of extras for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days for free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FUBOTV.com/PFL. Take a look at the Ready for More Prep Point, brought to you by the Air Force Reserve. Shayna Young getting herself wrapped up. We'll see her a little bit later tonight as the women's flyweight action continues.
All right, let's check out the Air Force Reserve post-fight stats. 138 total strikes thrown by Malden, a lot of those on the ground. You see the ground strike 92. Really turned it on late in this fight. 3 takedowns, that really was the difference. And let's check out the Celsius post-fight replay. Here's Malden in the half guard, goes right into full mount. You see Peralta really trying to hold on. That's not really helping her. That's just strengthening the connection that Malden has. And here's that grounded pound from the mount. Turns it on at the right time. Beautiful job there by Malden. Got aggressive late in this fight when Peralta was really gassing. Malden, excellent positioning. Head over the head of Peralta. Really makes it very difficult for Peralta to move. And she is not intelligently defending herself. And there is an emotional Lisa Malden with a tremendous win. And Sean O'Connell is in the cage with the official decision.
The end of this fight comes 3 minutes and 51 seconds into round number 3 as referee Marcos Perez calls a halt to the action, declaring your winner by TKO, Lisa Malden. All right, here with the winner, Lisa Malden. Very impressive performance. And then we saw an outpouring of emotion after you got the win. Explain for me what this fight meant to you.
I don't even know if I want to even say it, but even like yesterday, we had a little bit of a conversation about it. But we were talking about like 7 brothers and how big our family was. But the day that I found out about this fight is the day that I lost my brother. So it was like a month ago. So it was a lot of emotion going into this fight. But I got through it, so this is cool. Kenny, if you hear me, Mom, Dad, your sisters, your brothers, we all miss you.
You got through it. You got through the fight. You got your first PFL win. Congratulations, Lisa Malden. Kenny Florian, what's up next?
Well, we have a fantastic fight coming up. The Brazilian Mayra Mazar. She is taking on Desiree Yanez. There is Dirty Dez. We have this fight coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
That's enough!
What a fight.
The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen.
Unbelievable! This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
And we are here in Orlando, Florida. Universal Studios, our home for the 8 weeks of the PFL 2023 Challenger Series. We thank you for joining us. Excellent kickoff to the night. Lisa Malden scores the victory over Helen Peralta with a 3rd round TKO victory. Punches from the mount. Excellent control there. Hard fight. And what a relief for her, especially after her loss. Coming up next, we do have another fight. Mayra Mazar from Brazil squaring off against Desiree Yanez. Excellent fight. Mazar from Brazil, Wushu Sanda stylist that has really focused on her jiu-jitsu, but says she's coming back to her striking roots, looking for a knockout tonight. Definitely feels like she got the pop back in her punch. And she's accurate, she's technical. But very, very difficult fight ahead of her tonight. Desiree Yanez is technical in her own right, very powerful, a finisher. And that's what these women are looking to do tonight. You can see the boxing here. She's going to want to get inside of the kicking range of the Sanda Wushu stylist, Mayra Mazar, so she can let go of that powerful boxing technique that she brings to the cage. Definitely not a fight you want to miss. Again, one of these 4 winners in these fights is going to get the contract. Make sure to keep an eye out on the fights, on the wins, so you can start looking how you're going to cast your votes. Again, we are here, week 5, live from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida.
Welcome back to Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports. Sean O'Connell and Kenny Florian. And fight fans, remember you can watch PFL and much more on Fubo. Get over 100 live channels of sports, shows, and extras for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days for free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FuboTV.com/PFL. Our next fight is brought to you by Firehouse Subs. Mayra Mazar out of Brazil taking on Dirty Des Yanez. Fighters here in the Challenger Series introduce themselves, courtesy of Puncher's Chance Kentucky Bourbon. Let's meet the blue corner.
Fighting out of Waco, Texas, with a record of 6-4, Desiree, Dirty Des Yanez. Being here at the PFL Challenger Series is everything to me. This is where I want to end up. So not only getting my hand raised is the ultimate goal, but making sure the judges know that I'm the one that deserves this contract. I'm a violent fighter. No matter who's in front of me, whether it goes my way or not, that opponent's going to have a hard time.
Dirty Des, one of the great nicknames we've had here on the Challenger Series. She is the favorite in this fight. 3 knockouts to her credit so far in her young mixed martial arts career. And now let's meet the red corner.
From São Paulo, Brazil, fighting out of Extreme Couture Las Vegas, Nevada, with a record of 8-5, Mayra Mazar. My goal in this fight, it's at the first win. Actually, I want to strike more than grappling. I've been training this, and it's funny, I always want to strike, but I always end up in a grappling, so I think that's going to happen again.
Well, she's got 5 knockouts on her record, Kenny. That's why she tells you she wants to strike. Mayra Mazar, the underdog in this fight. Our tail of the tape for this match is brought to you by Firehouse Subs. Mazar, 37 years of age. Dirty Des is 33. Both women 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighed in at the flyweight limit. Reach advantage favoring Des Yanez on the arms. Larry Folsom oversees the action. Mazar in the black, Yanez in the gray.
Let's go.
Dirty Des opens things with a nasty right hand and then a takedown attempt.
Yeah, Yanez said she wanted to be aggressive in this fight. Really wanted to take advantage of this opportunity. There was a lot of emotion when we spoke with her. And she is getting after it right here, getting off to a great start.
Yanez with the high underhook here, pressing Mayra Mazar against the barrier. Controlling where the action takes place for the moment.
Yeah, Mazar doing a good job of controlling that wrist, not allowing Yanez to get that second underhook. There's a nice shot to the body by Yanez.
Mazar able to work herself out the back door with that underhook. Back to the striking exchanges here. Dirty Des walking down her opponent. Changes levels, presses her against the cage one more time. Good knee on the inside there from Mayra Mazar.
Ooh, nice right hand there by Yanez. Nice combination there by Mazar.
Double jab and a right hand. Dirty Des now with a flurry. Turning up the aggression in round 1.
Yeah, and it's those kind of flurries that are going to allow her to level change and get in on those takedowns. But Mazar is so tough, Sean. Great chin.
Megan Anderson, decidedly different than our first bout of the evening, getting after it early, these two women.
Absolutely no feeling out period in this fight so far. I am loving everything that I am seeing from Desiree Yanez right now. She is aggressive, but she is patient. She's picking her shots and she's making them land and count when they need to.
Paige Van Zandt, what do you like from these two?
I mean, right now, this is the Dirty Desiree show. We said it in our weigh-in show that she's got 3 knockouts to her name already. Desiree has power in her hands, but I do, like Megan said, she's being very methodical, patient, not overexposing herself, and she's being very, very technical striking right now.
Sam Darnold, they got right to the action here. Do you think that gas tank becomes a factor in this fight if it goes into the deeper rounds?
I'm not sure. I think Dez, it looks like she's got a good gas tank on her, but you know, Dirty Dez, man, she is doing a good job. I think if Mazar can continue to beat her up with leg kicks, I think working that distance a little bit, I think that'll help her out a lot.
Ian Parker, how'd you bet this fight?
We went with Desiree Yanez here. I like the way she's controlling the pace. If she could do this over 3 rounds, I'd like to see her mix in a calf kick, but then that overhand right would come in way handy. Mazar, though, has put up a really good fight. She is landing. She's throwing nice combinations here, but for Yanez, she just keeps pushing forward. I think that aggression is going to tire out Mazar over 3 rounds.
Oh, good shots to the body there. Digging to the midsection is Dirty Dez. Mazar's finding some success, but every time she lands something, she takes 2 or 3 back, Kenny.
Yeah, that's right. And she's being pushed back as well. I think really the pressure from Yanez has been the difference. Very difficult to strike when you're going backwards. You better be a slick counter striker if you are pressed like that. Yanez putting a lot of pressure on her opponent. She's doing a good job blocking a lot of those jabs, those long-range strikes from Mazar as well.
It's been Mazar who's put in the work with the leg kicks so far, trying to take some steam and power off of the strikes of Dirty Dez. We'll see if we get later into this fight that pays dividends. Good movement to stay out of the way there for Mayra Mazar. Settling in a little bit here in the later part of the round.
Yeah, no question. This is where Mazar wants to be. She doesn't want to get pushed up against the cage, which will allow Yanez to hit some of those takedowns, at least pressure and pin her up there. She wants to try to control the center of the cage here.
Final 30 seconds of round number 1. Once again, Mayra Mazar trying to throw meaningful strikes off the back foot, as Kenny mentioned. Harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Hey, cut her off. 10 seconds cut her off, don't follow.
That time Mazar goes first, but Yanez stays out of range. We'll
Nice
work on
counter
the leg
right
this
hand.
time from Yanez. Final few seconds and round 2 to come on Fubo.
Here's a look at round 1. Dirty Dez started off with a bang, lands a quick combination, pushes her opponent up against the fence, and honestly, she was just aggressive that first round, landing big shots, good on the clinches against the fence, was pressuring, landing good hooks to the body, hooks to the head. Had a couple of takedown attempts that were well defended by Mazar. Mazar was able to land some knees in these tie-ups, was able to actually land some kicks when they separated, and was able to actually start establishing a little bit of a range at the end of the first round. Let's see how she starts off round 2. She's definitely down round 1 already.
Welcome back. Challenger Series flyweight action inside of our cage right now. Dirty Dez Yanez in the gray, Mayra Mazar in the black. An action-packed first round. Nice finish of the combination there. Goes into the illegal areas.
Yeah, it was a low kick there by Mazar.
Just start hang with me here. Okay.
Yep, tried to go for that inside leg kick, went a little high there.
All right. You ready? Ready? Let's go.
Touch of the gloves and once again underway.
Get those off without making them pay for it. Hey, give me three. Put three jabs out there. Gotta step into those.
Another low kick there from Yanez. She eats a couple of punches for her efforts. Yanez trying to get in on that body again.
Yeah, Yanez just getting a little bit too high. That shoulder really should be right around hip level. And of course, Mazar doing a good job of pulling up on that overhook when they do exchange. Looks like the hand of Mazar inside the shirt of Yanez.
There you go. Go.
An apology from Myra Mazar, just an accidental slip inside the wardrobe there, but 1 minute gone, and Dirty Dez once again has Myra Mazar pressed against the barrier.
A nice positioning there by Mazar. Almost went for that throw, decided to bail.
Nice jab there from Myra Mazar after a couple of feints.
Yeah, doing a much better job of utilizing those long-range weapons. She's able to keep Yanez on the outside much more this round. Beautiful, sharp jab.
Myra Mazar, interesting background in her martial arts career. A lot of Brazilians, you just expect that it's going to be started with jiu-jitsu. Maybe you got into some Muay Thai. For her, it was Sanda. She's a high-level competitor in Sanda. That's what led her into the sport of mixed martial arts.
Yeah, and in Sanda, they do a great job of utilizing their strikes both to get into clinch takedowns and to keep their strikes, to keep the other person on the outside, which is a nice transition into mixed martial arts.
Great work there from Myra Mazar to negate the takedown attempt from Desiree Yanez. This time Yanez is able to get to the ground, but right to the mount goes Mazar.
Yeah, it seems like they got tied up against the cage there, Sean.
Now she's got the back. Myra Mazar on the back of Dirty Dez Yanez. Paige Van Zandt, an interesting turn of events here in the second round. Mazar taking control.
Oh, it's a huge change in events. Up until this point, really, Desiree was kind of controlling the entire momentum of the fight. We saw a little bit of Mazar countering on some of the kicks that were being thrown by Desiree, but here this is a big change in momentum, so I'm curious to see if she can really capitalize with, we still got a lot of time left in this round.
Megan Anderson, how important is it for Myra Mazar to capitalize on this position, given what we saw in round one?
100%, she needs to capitalize on this particular moment. And what I really liked in this second round is she was a little bit more patient. She was going first, whereas in the first round, she was letting Yanez initiate the exchanges. But with Myra Mazar initiating some of those in the second round, she was able to capitalize on these moments. And this right here is absolutely huge for her right now.
Sam Darnold, Myra's got 90 seconds to try and earn a finish here in round two. Can she make it happen?
Yeah, you know, we'll see. I just love the resilience that I see out of her. I think the way that Dez came out in the first round and the way that Mazar has been coming out in this second round has been amazing to see.
How about another special celebrity guest here? Kayla Harrison, two-time women's champ here in the Professional Fighters League. Kayla, right to it. What does Myra Mazar need to do to get the finish with 1 minute left?
Yeah, I mean, she's done a good job controlling the round. She got a mount position fairly easily, and then Yanez gave up her back. So from here, she needs to just keep digging for that choke, be patient. I like to go, you know, 2 hands on one, get wrist control, and then when their neck comes up, right across.
What does Kayla Harrison know about submission?
She gave us some sound effects as well. I like it.
Mazar still on the back of Yanez. 30 seconds remain in the second frame here.
Yeah, it really has been a tale of two fights here. Round one for Yanez, round two for Mazar. So things are going to get interesting if we're able to get into round three. Just 19 seconds left. Oh, nice escape
Yanez
there.
Works her way out of the position with only 10 seconds left, and a flurry at the end of the round. Dirty Dez unloading, trying to steal the round back. What a finish to round number two, but we will indeed see the third frame on Fubo Sports.
What an end to round two. And it was difficult, a little bit of a rough start in that second round. Mazar lands a low blow, loses a little bit of the rhythm. Desiree Yanez, you can see here, failed takedown attempt, ends up giving up her back. And that was a bulk of what was left.
Challenger Series action. Let's take a listen to the Bose Fighter Corner of Dirty Des Yanez.
She's just holding on to me. Just keep that jab. You got one round left. Hey, get on your bike and make it happen, yeah? Hey, right hand down the pipe. Right.
That's Dirty Des in the gray, Mayra Mazar in the black. A third and final round here in Challenger Series flyweight action. There's Yulia, tells us it's round 3, and Kenny potentially the decider here.
Yeah, no question about it. Going to be interesting to see who can take over this round.
Ready? You ready? Go!
5 more minutes to determine who will win. 4 fights tonight, only 1 contract to be given away. Yanez with a flurry.
Yeah, a couple nice right hands there from Yanez.
Right hand snuck through there for Mazar. Seen some really high quality exchanges from both of these women. Mazar gets back to work with the jab, mixes it up with the right hand. Yanez returns a jab.
Yanez doing a good job of backing up Mazar now. Just needs to feint a little bit more because Mazar, when she's getting her timing, she's able to put together some nice combinations. Look at that, Mazar changing levels, looking for a takedown.
Well, she said she wanted the striking battle, and it might end up being a grappling battle.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happened in both rounds.
Oh, look at this.
Nice takedown there by Yanez.
Yeah, well timed. This has been a fun fight. Now Yanez trying to move to the back. Mazar needs to be very careful here. Yanez doing a good job with that head to pin the back of Mazar. Yanez trying to move around the legs. Mazar doing a good job of getting those legs in play, preventing that guard pass there.
Able to close the guard here, at least temporarily. Now she's opened it again. Mayra Mazar with 3 minutes to work off her back. 2-time women's lightweight champion Kayla Harrison. It's back and forth and now back. Dirty Des Yanez on top. And same question I asked you a minute ago in favor of Mayra Mazar. How do you get the finish from this position if you're Dirty Des?
Yeah, I mean, she's doing a great job. She's controlling the match. I think that was a really smart move to shoot for a takedown. You know, she's in complete control here. There's no back and forth. She won the first. She may have lost the second. Right now, she's clearly winning the third. So she needs to lay some heavy ground and pound. You know, I'm a fan of the ground and pound, Sean.
Some of the best ground and pound you'll see in the sport from that woman, Kayla Harrison. Paige Van Zandt, you got Dirty Des back on top, half a round left. What can Mayra Mazar do to try and swing the official judges in her favor?
Gosh, honestly, I couldn't agree with Kayla more, you know, with the trajectory of this fight. I believe it's 1-1 going into this round. That takedown could have sealed the deal for Yanez, depending on what she can do up until the end of the fight. Mazar needs to get off her back and potentially needs to finish.
All right, Megan Anderson, if you're Dirty Des, how are you getting yourself a finish here?
You are laying on the ground and pound like your life depends on it. And she has shown how much power that she has in this fight with a lot of her combinations on the feet. So I'd like to see her have a little bit more, you know, urgency to end this fight quickly. But she has to be very careful because Mazar is very dangerous off her back.
Sam Darnold, we've seen some wild momentum swings in this fight. If Yanez can finish on top, does she take it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, like Paige said, I think Mazar needs to get up or try to submit her, but she needs to try to finish this fight if she wants a chance at that contract.
Ian Parker, if I'm not mistaken, you did pick Dirty Dez here, so did you like the takedown in round 3?
Yeah, you know, I know we talk about finishes and try to impress, but sometimes you could do that with a decision. I think the 2 of these, so far it's been fight of the night out of the 2. A lot of back and forth, good position on the ground. I think for Yanez to get the win over an opponent like this is really important. I would like to see her kind of pass the half here, but listen, getting the win here is really important. And yes, my pick was Yanez.
Final 40 seconds or so. Dirty Dez continuing to work. Kenny, she really puts power behind every strike.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of that has to do with her posture. She's getting her head over the head of her opponent there. Now moving in and around those legs. But Mazar doing a good job of elevating, getting those legs in play, using that knee shield to prevent Yanez from getting side control.
Dirty Dez able to pin that right arm down, give herself an opportunity to score some real points in the final few seconds.
She's pouring it on now, though. Nice finish to the round here by Yanez.
Final bell. We will head to the judges' scorecards, and I'll have a winner for you when we return on Fubo Sports.
And here's a recap of the entire fight, all 3 rounds. Round 1, we saw Yanez come in and shoot for the takedown right away, but just on the feet, she was landing the heavier shots against the fence. She was landing the heavier shots. She was just the more powerful, more aggressive woman in the cage tonight. Heavy hooks to the body, standing up, just really, really aggressive and powerful throughout the entire 3 rounds. Really only had that little slip here that we're going to see in the second round. She goes for this takedown, lands, gives up her back, and basically rode out pretty much the rest of that second round defending. Now, when she was able to finally get to her feet, this is what you saw, a very aggressive end to that second round. Round 3 was all Yanez. She came out, and this is what you saw, just aggressive, heavy-handed, but the pressure that she showed was what, in my opinion, gave her the unanimous decision victory. But actually, we will see what the judges saw in just a few. Excellent fight by the Texan, who was, like I said, just aggressive and confident the entire 3 rounds.
Welcome back. Let's check out the Air Force Reserve post-fight stats. It was a back-and-forth fight between these ladies. Traded takedowns. Total strikes, 157 for Yanez, 190 for Mazar. And let's go to the Celsius post-fight replay. It was Yanez early. Some great exchanges in the clinch. Look at those body shots, just brutal there. There's some nice long jabs from Mazar. There's a nice body lock takedown. Actually, it looked like a cage grab there we might have missed. Mazar got right on top. Nice exchange there from Yanez. Back and forth, backing up Mazar. Mazar was so tough. Ate some shots, gave a bunch herself. Excellent leg kicks, beautiful combinations, long-range strikes. Here's that takedown in round 3 that may have sealed the deal for Yanez. Great fight, and Sean O'Connell is in the cage with the official decision. Sean.
After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. The judges scored this bout 29-28, 30-27, and 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision, Dirty Dez Yanez. All right, a decision victory for Dirty Dez. Look, we saw a little bit of everything. Speed, the power strikes, that takedown in the third round to potentially seal this victory. Did you do enough tonight to earn yourself not only a win, but a contract?
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little disappointed. I didn't do what I wanted to do tonight, but I'm more than happy to get a victory. I hope I showed enough. I'm always going to put on an exciting fight for PFL if you sign me. That's a promise. Win or lose, I'm a violent fighter, and I will always put on a show, always.
Dirty Dez Yanez, ladies and gentlemen. Kenny Florian, what's up next?
Oh, we got a good one. We have Sandra Lovato out of Lima, Peru. Very experienced fighter, well-rounded, taking on the American Shanna Young. We'll be right back after this, right here on Fubo Sports.
This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
That's enough! What a fight.
The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen. Unbelievable!
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
And again, we are coming to you live on this week 5 of the 2023 PFL Challenger Series from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. This is the PFL Challenger Series debut of the women's flyweight division. So far, we have 2 fights down, 1 finish, 1 decision, both amazing fights. And I can't wait for the next one. Shanna Young squaring off against the Peruvian Sandra Lovato. Exciting fight. Young, as you can see, aggressive, powerful, has a excellent wrestling pedigree. And she's going to be looking to use that pressure, use that wrestling grind here tonight. Strong grappler, confident fighter. But tonight she faces Peru's Sandra Lovato, who did not make weight for this fight. That is a huge thing here, especially with the opportunity presented to her. She definitely didn't make any excuses. She apologized to her opponent and to the league, but she must win impressively and erase that if she wants to win the contract tonight. Again, this fight is at a catch weight. Will it be the wrestler, Shanna Young, or the Peruvian striker, Sandra Lovato? Again, these women are fighting for the win and the opportunity to possibly enter a future tournament and fight for $1 million. Plenty of action left. Again, we have 2 more fights left tonight in the women's flyweights before we make a decision and give away that first contract. But again, we have plenty left. Next week, the featherweights March 3rd, March 10th, light heavyweights, and of course March 17th, the final of the series, the second chance opportunity for some of these fighters.
Welcome back to PFL Challenger Series on Fubo Sports. Sean O'Connell and Kenny Florian, cage side. And you know, we decided we ought to bring a 2-time champion in to help with some commentary. I actually invited her here, Kenny, but she was like, do I have to sit next to Kenny? Yeah, she said, no, thanks, I'll do it from home. So we still got her on remote. Kayla Harrison is here with us.
Yeah, well, I saw they give all the good makeup to Kenny, so I decided I'll just bring it on.
Up next, we have a catch weight bout. This fight brought to you by Just for Men, one-day beard and brow color. Shayna Young, Sandra Lovato. And of course, here in the Challenger Series, the fighters introduce themselves, courtesy of Puncher's Chance Kentucky Bourbon. Here's the blue corner.
Peleando desde Lima, Perú, con un récord de 11 victorias y 3 derrotas, Sandra Peruvian Zombie Lavado. Bueno, si no estuviera peleando, yo creo que ahora sería chef. Me encanta cocinar y hasta el momento lo vengo haciendo, pero no de manera profesional, pero sí me gusta muchísimo. Por ejemplo, me gusta más los postres, los pasteles, todo eso siento que lo hago con amor y eso se transmite. O sea, mi mejor pago es la reacción de las personas.
She likes to cook, especially desserts. I like to eat, especially desserts. My kind of lady, the Peruvian Zombie. Sandra Lovato is the underdog in this fight. And now the red corner.
Fighting out of Syndicate MMA in Las Vegas, Nevada. My record is 8-5. I'm the Shanimal Shayna Young. I got my commercial driver's license after my first UFC fight. I knew it was going to be several more months before they would book me for another fight. So I decided to just randomly one day decided to go register for Tennessee truck driving school. And so I did 2 weeks that. Now I can drive an 18-wheeler.
Shayna Young has fought at the highest levels of this sport, looking to earn her way back to an opportunity potentially in a PFL season. She is the favorite here by a pretty significant margin. Tail the tape brought to you by Just for Men, one-day beard and brow color. Shayna Young is 4 years older than her opponent, Sandra Lovato. She's also 1 inch taller. It was Lovato who missed weight, making this a catch weight bout. Reach advantage favors Shayna Young on the arms. Marcos Perez is the referee who will oversee the action here in our penultimate fight of the evening. Ready, fight. Shayna Young in the black, Sandra Lovato in the gray. And they get right to work. That's one of the things about Challenger Series action. You got to impress everybody, the celebrity panel, the fans at home, try and earn yourself a contract. And if you see a fight before yours, Kenny Florian, with a lot of back and forth action, well, you might replicate that here.
Yeah, no question. It can certainly be an advantage to go a little bit later into the night. But for Shayna Young, she's looking great on the feet. Excellent footwork, looking for those angles, getting in, getting out. Oh, beautiful side kick there.
Dug that right into the midsection of Sandra Lovato, who was coming in.
Yeah, really cool background from Shayna Young, who has that karate background, but of course wrestled at a high level as well. So really a double threat on the feet with her takedowns and with her striking.
Eats a left hook for her efforts on that high kick.
Lovato, a little bit confused, a little hesitant on the outside, looking for a way on the inside. There's a nice jab.
All right, Kayla Harrison, you've got someone throwing the unorthodox kicks, the side kicks. How do you get inside? I think that's what Sandra Lovato wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, I really like how Shayna Young's mixing it up here. You know, right off the rib, she threw a double jab overhand. Now she's mixing in the kicks. And I think for Lovato, you know, when you're the smaller fighter, not necessarily in weight, but in maybe reach, the goal is to maybe throw looping punches to get inside and go to the body. You got to go to the body. Head, body, head, body.
Good advice there from Kayla Harrison. Young right now controlling this dance. Her experience showing early. Round number 1 almost halfway gone.
Oh, there's a nice 1-2 combination from Lovato. Best combination she's thrown this round.
Paige Van Zandt, what does Sandra Lovato need to do to gain some momentum in this fight?
I mean, truly, right now, what we're seeing is a lot of counters from her, right? She's not being the aggressor. She's not making the first move. She's not having the cage control. So she really needs to change the whole trajectory of her fight. She needs to start pressing forward, demanding the cage control, and not countering. She needs to punch first and then have a little bit more accuracy with the strikes.
Megan Anderson, what do you like from Shanna Young so far?
I am loving the angles, the movement, the footwork, and like Paige said, on the opposite side, Young is initiating the exchanges. She's going first. She is setting the pace of this round right now, and I am loving what I'm seeing. Her shots are landing, and they're landing hard, and they're doing what they need to do to be able to really put Lovato on the back foot.
Sam Darnold, Shanna Young, as we mentioned, is a UFC veteran. She's been at the highest levels of the sport before. What can that do for the confidence of an athlete?
Yeah, it can do a ton. I mean, you can see it, in this first round. You see how technical she is, and I think Lovato is kind of feeling it out these first couple minutes, but I feel like Lovato is starting to get a little more comfortable, but Shayna's definitely gotten more experience, and you can kind of see that.
Ian, if I'm not mistaken, this fight is part of your parlay.
Well, unfortunately, the parlay got busted early on with Peralta's loss, but we still picked Young, and I think right now she looks great. Her patience is really showing. She's picking her spots nicely, and her hands look great. I think if she keeps doing this, she'll get the win. She looks really good tonight, Sean.
Nice heavy leg kick there from Shanna Young. Inside of 1 minute left. Lovato came in behind a 1-2.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, with Lovato not making weight, if she is going to slow down as the fight goes on, right? So, great start for Young. Now in on that clinch, has at least one underhook right now.
Chest to chest, the Peruvian Zombie trying to dig that left underhook into a meaningful position, but her head is outside the frame. Nice work here by Shanna Young.
Oh, nice inside trip.
Unbelievable finish here for Shanna Young. And we'll see the second round on Fumo Sports.
Great first round. We're going to take a look at some of the highlights. Great sidekick there by Young. You can tell that karate background definitely helped her out. But Lovato, you can tell, is a counter striker, landing good shots, waiting for Young to come in, is landing some decent shots with the counter punching. I definitely gave the first round to Young.
Take down stray grays and beef up patchy areas with Just for Men's new one-day beard and brow color. Scan that QR code on your screen to learn more about this temporary gray fighter that stays put until you wash it out. Just for Men, the official beard color brand of the PFL.
Here's that beautiful inside trip there by Shanna Young. Hits it beautifully, and then Lovato trying to get up. She stays aggressive. Shanna lands some great combinations there.
Young in the black, Lovato in the gray. Round 2 here of a possible 3. Good movement here from Shanna Young. Little stunt in there, dust her shoulders off after the combination attempt from Sandra Lovato.
And Lovato, I think, understands she is not going to be the quicker woman out there. Her footwork's a little bit lagging, so she's really trying to counter Young as she comes in.
Two-time women's lightweight champion here in the PFL, Kayla Harrison, is with us as we look at the second round of this fight. Kayla, impressed with Shanna Young so far?
Yeah, definitely. I think her experience shows, Young's doing a great job controlling the cage, controlling the distance. She's landing when she wants. Lovato's doing mostly counter striking, and I agree with the other ladies tonight. I think she needs to start getting aggressive. You know, it's time to go out there and make a move.
All right, we'll keep Kayla around, especially when we see takedown attempts like this. And
beautiful.
Shayna Young changing levels, pushing through. Now on top of Sandra Lovato, who has really had a hard time getting any offense going, Kenny.
Yeah, no question. It's just the footwork. That really is the difference. That is the glue to the striking for mixed martial arts. You see that takedown now as well. You get someone guessing on the striking, beautiful level change, and Young gets on top.
All right, this is an area of expertise for a two-time Olympic judo gold medalist and two-time PFL champion. Advancing from this top position to where the ground and pound becomes meaningful, Kayla. What's the next step for Shayna Young?
Yeah, I mean, first, let's just talk about Young's timing on that. That was beautiful timing. Also, I just want to say that inside trip, also known in judo as Ouchigari in the first round, was amazing. From here, you know, she's got to be patient, take her time. She wants to keep the underhook slowly pass from half into, I would go full mount here, and then just rain down those heavy blows. You know, again, I can't speak highly enough of the ground and pound game.
Round two halfway gone. We'll see if Shayna Young can follow that advice and advance her position. Little lockdown from Sandra Lovato on the right leg of Shayna Young. Paige Van Zandt, Young pulling away with this in the second round.
She really is, and I feel like it really pays to the experience that she's had competing at a high level. Part of that is also due to her coach, John Wood, at Syndicate. They have an extremely high-level camp. I feel like she's fighting extremely intelligently. She's changing her eye position. She's looking up when she's kicking low, looking down when she's throwing strikes high. A lot of that showboating, it's actually working very, very well to her advantage. It's just an intelligent performance by Young thus far.
Megan, undeniably, it's a great performance, but is it enough to separate herself from tonight's other winners?
I mean, we're about to find out for the rest of this round. In the third round, I think so far she has been very impressive, as she has had an answer for everything tonight. She's striking, she is moving, she is looking to wrestle and grapple. She is the whole package right now, and she's showcasing all the different assets and facets of her game.
Young looking to advance, and Lovato uses that space to get herself back to the feet. 1 minute left in round two. Nice hook there from Lovato, trying to keep herself in this fight, undoubtedly.
Yeah, Lovato did a good job of having that, getting that underhook to get back to her feet, land some shots on the feet. She's starting to get more aggressive here. That was a good shot, back to Young up.
Kayla Harrison, that's two straight rights that have landed from Lovato.
Yeah, big shot. She's got to be careful here when she's unloading on these shots. It's a good time for Shayna to duck in for a takedown. So she did a good job there, down blocking. Woo.
Yeah, Lovato definitely picking up the pace. Looks much sharper on the feet, much faster as well. There's another jab.
Final 15 seconds of this second round. Young tests out a high kick. An axe kick there from Young. Swinging away is the Peruvian zombie. And round three ahead on Fubo Sports.
Here's a look at some of the action from round two. Again, we started off with Young getting this takedown, taking the fight to the mat, controlling really well from the half mount here. Put her up against the fence, land some shots. But when Lovato was able to get up, you saw her aggressive, looking for damage with these strikes.
Take a listen in the Bose Fighter corner of Shayna Young.
Yeah. Last round. Okay. Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy with that chin up. Going in and out. Simple punches, ones and twos, till we find. You can get under that hook anytime you want. Drive her back to that cage, okay? Yep. Drive her back to the cage.
The aforementioned Coach Wood in the corner there. for Shayna Young. There is the Peruvian zombie, Sandra Lovato, who, Kenny, on my scorecards, probably needs to get a finish here.
Yeah, that's the way I have it as well. Had a good end to the round of round 2. Showed her toughness, but she needs to get going. She needs to finish here.
I think those punches landing at the end of round 2 probably key just for the confidence factor for Sandra Lovato. When you can get up after being on bottom and you can score some significant strikes like that, it bodes well for this 3rd round.
Yeah, absolutely. Letting her opponent know she's not going to go away easily.
Young with the high guard. Trying to make sure she doesn't give up anything stupid.
Yeah, I think it's been a real complete performance so far from Shayna Young, who eats a jab there from Lovato. Said she really didn't want to put a lot of pressure on herself tonight, really wanted to free herself of it. And we've seen a very solid performance so far.
Yeah, I think Lovato's got to go here. You know, I think that Young is definitely, she's starting to slow down a bit. One of the things about the Challenger Series is you can win the fight and still not win the contract. So although she's done a great job, she's looked super well-rounded, she's done fantastic, you don't want to just coast into a win here. You want to make your mark. Oh, nice.
Great level change. She runs right through it, and now Shayna Young on top once again of Sandra Lovato.
Yeah, right into half guard again goes Shayna Young. But she is allowed. Yeah, Lovato does have that underhook. She was able to get up in round 2 with that.
Lovato's got to get all the way onto her left hip to use this underhook to her advantage. Shayna Young with the figure 4 lock on the left leg of Sandra Lovato, preventing her from moving.
Yeah, Sean, she's using this leg here as a lever. She's lifting up on that leg of Lovato, which is preventing her from getting back to her feet. But you do notice the underhooks here from Lovato. If she's able to turn on her side to this direction here, that's when she can get up. But she's not blading her body enough, and Young is able to pin those shoulders to the floor.
Yeah, the double underhooks in the lockdown position for Sandra Lovato right now, not going to do her any good. And there's
almost got mount.
It looked like she tried for the mount, ended up in the half mount on the opposite side. Sam Darnold, so far a pretty complete performance from Shayna Young. Do you need to see a finish here?
Yeah, I mean, Kayla brings up a great point. You know, you might not get the finish, you might win the fight, but does that put you in a position to be able to get the contract at the end of the day? And I think, you know, I'm not sure if Shayna's necessarily thinking about that right now, but it's definitely something to be thinking about, I think.
Paige, it looked like maybe early in this round, Shayna Young was doing the calculus. I got 2 rounds in the bag. I don't need to be aggressive, but she turned it up here with the takedown.
She absolutely did, and you know she's an All-American back in 2010, and it's showing off. That level of wrestling sticks with you, and she's got amazing coaches. Like I said before, she's fighting extremely intelligently, and it seems like she's just pulling away with this fight.
Well, and Megan, it's the same question. You can't just beat your opponent. You have to separate yourself. She's got 90 seconds or so to do it. What do you need to see from Shayna Young to truly pull away from the field?
Urgency in her wanting to finish the fight. I think once she establishes some form of control, going for that ground and pound or looking for a submission is going to be huge for her to really make a stamp on this particular bout.
Well, there's the mount, and now she takes the back.
Uh-oh.
Ian, 60 seconds left. Is this going to be the end for the Peruvian zombie?
I don't know, man. She's super tough. She was coming on strong. I think Young did a smart move by getting this fight to the floor, and she's showing every bit of skill that the PFL is looking for. I think she's a special talent. Finish or not, she is someone who I think can compete in an upcoming season.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with Ian. I think that right now she's a little high. She'd sit her weight back and unleash the ground and pound. She's a little high. Oh, is he going for an armbar here? No.
Lovato comes out the back. And here comes a heel hook attempt from Sandra Lovato. Shayna Young turning to negate it.
Uh-oh, here's where she could get it, but Shayna able to get her knee out and get on top.
Hairy couple of moments there for Shayna Young, but she will finish with huge left hands. The final bell sounds. We go to the judges' scorecards. We'll make this one official when we return. Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports.
Action-packed fight. Here's a look at round one. Young definitely showed some of that karate technique throughout the fight. Good side kicks, was landing them. Good combinations, especially in that first round. She was definitely the aggressor, definitely putting pressure on Lovato. Lovato is definitely a counter striker. Was very effective with her jab, was very effective with her hook coming in. That check hook landed it multiple times tonight. But the wrestling here by Young at the end of the first round, you know, it's her go-to. It's what she falls back to when she needs it, and it's always there. Here's a look at another takedown. Excellent transitions here on the ground. Good ground and pound, good control, heavy hips. Landing good short shots here from inside the half guard of Lovato. Here's a look at round three. Some more exchanges. Again, Lovato with that counter striking. Was able to land the jab, but really was not effective at defending the takedowns here throughout the match. Young here, obviously looking to get to full mount, but doing good work inside the half guard of Lovato, landing good shots. Putting heavy pressure here on the neck and shoulder. Looking for the Von Flue. And here you can see she gets the back, flattens her out at the end of the third round, landing heavy shots. Tough match.
Remember, here in the Challenger Series, you, the fans, have a say. Participate in the Bud Light fan vote at the end of the night, and you actually help determine who wins a PFL contract. Later tonight, you'll go to pflmma.com/vote to cast your vote on who should win. Or you can scan that little barcode when the vote opens. Fight fans, watch PFL and much more on Fubo. Over 100 live channels of sports, shows, and more for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days for free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FUBOTV.com/PFL. There's a look at the Ready for More prep point brought to you by the Air Force Reserve. It is Caitlin Neal, one half of our main event. Katniss getting taped up and the gloves put on.
All right, let's check out the Air Force Reserve post-fight stats. You see leg strikes, 25, big advantage there for Shayna Young, who was very effective from the outside when she got to the inside, was able to land those takedowns. See 3 for her, there's 0 for Lovato. And let's go to the Celsius post-fight replay. There's one of those kicks, beautiful side kick to the face of Lovato. Nice level change, body lock takedown for Shayna Young, right into half guard. There's another nice level change. Gets the trip, goes right on top. Here's Shayna Young moving into mount. Put a lot of pressure on Lovato, who was very tough from that position, able to escape. Look at Kayla Harrison, a professor in and out of the cage. She's excited to see it. And let's go to Sean O'Connell, who's in the cage with the official announcement.
All right, after 3 rounds, we once again go to the judges' scorecards. The judges scored this bout 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Shayna Young. Kenny, what's next?
Oh, Sean, we have a good one. Our main event. 2 Americans going at it. Caitlin Neal. There she is there with her coach, John Wood. She'll be taking on Catherine Kouraginas. We saw her in a showcase bout last year. This would be a great fight. Don't go anywhere. Right here on Fubo Sports.
Coming up next, Caitlin Neal squaring off against Catherine Kouraginas. Again, this is the final fight of
gymnastics and cheerleading. I was captain my senior year of high school. My team took nationals every year. We were doing awesome. And then I went and tried out for the college team and I didn't make it. And I was like, what the heck? I'm like, what am I gonna do with my life now? So I was thinking I was gonna start doing CrossFit or bodybuilding because I wanted to stay competitive. Then my friends took me to some mixed martial arts fights, just some local fights. And there was one women fight on the card. And after watching that, I was like, I'm gonna do that. So then I found a gym, signed up, started training, and it's been 11 years ever since that. So I was raised Mormon, and when I started fighting, that was not a typical thing for a girl who was Mormon to start doing. So my family raised some eyebrows. They kind of thought I was just doing some cardio kickboxing classes, but then once I told them, like, no, I'm actually fighting and got in the cage, they were 100% supportive. One of my main reasons I love fighting is because I'm doing this crazy out of the norm thing. I'm chasing this huge goal that's kind of wild for a girl out of Utah County to be doing. So I hope other women can watch me chase my goals and chase my dreams and hopefully inspire them to chase their goals and their dreams no matter how crazy they may seem.
My path to MMA has been a unique one, to say the least. I was fortunate enough to go to University of Pennsylvania after, working hard in school. My mom really dedicated herself to getting me kind of out of where we were from in Philadelphia. So school's always been very important to me. Thus, I went into getting my doctorate, but not just any PhD, evolutionary anthropology, which actually had me working in Africa with chimpanzees. So Uganda, Cote d'Ivoire, following mothers and infants, really roughing it, you know? But I started burning out with the bureaucracy of academia. Getting back to office life wasn't for me. I took a short holiday to Thailand where my friend was a jiu-jitsu coach, and I just immediately fell in love. It was something that just called to me. So I packed up my stuff. I said I was gonna take a sabbatical before my dissertation. Ended up 5 years later, here we are. PFL, baby.
Again, we are live. This is the final fight of the debut of the Challenger Series women's flyweight category. So far, we've had some excellent fights, and the main event coming up next will be no other. Orlando, Florida, our home for the next 3 weeks.
Welcome back to PFL Challenger Series action, our main event. 3 5-minute rounds brought to you by Celsius. Live Fit. Caitlin Neal and Catherine Kouraginas will finish the night for us. Here's our Puncher's Chance fighter introductions. There's Catherine Kouraginas. 3-1 as a pro in the sport of mixed martial arts. A submission specialist wants to get this one to the ground. And Katniss, Caitlin Neal, 6-4 professional record, veteran of tough, big time favorite tonight. Tail of the tape brought to you by Celsius. Live Fit. Catherine Kouraginas is 33 years of age, making her 2 years older than Caitlin Neal. It is Neal who is 2 inches taller and has a 3-inch advantage on the arm reach. There's Larry Folsom. He will oversee the action in our final bout of the evening.
You ready?
Caitlin Neal in the black, go. Catherine Kouraginas in the gray. Touch of the gloves. Feeling out process here. Neal initiates with an inside leg kick, and now Korginas gets the kicks going as well.
Yeah, Neal really trying to utilize that length and reach advantage here. Using a lot of long-range strikes, that kick to the inside of the lead leg, trying to slow Korginas down, who's probably going to look for a takedown here.
Catherine Korginas has been in a PFL cage before. She was in a showcase bout against Dakota Ditcheva. That was her first MMA loss, pro or amateur. Dakota Ditcheva will be part of our PFL Europe roster. By the way, PFL Europe begins March 25th in Newcastle, England. Caitlin Neal with the double underhooks here. Ditcheva will be on that Newcastle card, trying to prove her worth as potentially an anchor of the women's flyweight roster, which we expect to be part of our 2024 PFL regular season. Looking for some more flyweight talent here tonight. 4 fights, this the 4th of those. A little blood showing here as Catherine Korginas gets to work.
Yeah, really starting to get aggressive there. And Neal really starting to bleed on that left side.
Cut somewhere on Katniss Caitlin Neal. Can't tell where it is. It's inside the hairline or somewhere on the... Oh,
it's on the outside of the left eye, yeah.
Outside of that left eye for Caitlin Neal. And they're already doing some grappling here in the first round, Kenny. That can make things a little bit slipperier when there's blood involved.
Yeah, no question about it.
All right, Megan Anderson, right now, Caitlin Neal pressing Catherine Korginas against the cage. How does she mount some meaningful offense?
I would like to see her either look for a takedown or separate and get back to the striking. We know that she wants to stay on the outside and use her range, so why not do that? This kind of favors Korginas right now because Neal isn't really doing anything. If anything, Korginas is the one that is doing the damage, that is looking to keep the fight progressing and looking to get a finish. But, I mean, it's just interesting to see that this is a very odd position where she likes to be striking and from a range.
All right, Paige Van Zandt, it's not the fight-ending type of cut, but there is a cut right now on Caitlin Neal. What does seeing your own blood do for a fighter's mentality?
Oh, yeah. I've been cut open in the first round of a 5-round war with Rose Namajunas. It definitely does a little something. It gets in your eyes. It gets in both fighters' eyes, though. So I think that right now it looks like a safe enough cut that it's not going to cause the fight to be stopped. But I do really like what Catherine is doing on the cage. She's throwing elbows over the top. Even though her back is on the cage, she's causing a lot of damage.
All right, Sam Darnold, the tactics for Caitlin Neal appear to be to press here. But is it effective?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll find out. You know, I agree with Megan for sure about. I think Caitlin needs to back away and get back to striking. I think this is where Korginas wants to be. So you know, we'll see. But you know, if Caitlin wants to stick to this plan and it leads her to a victory, good on her.
Nice right hand on the exit there from Caitlin Neal. Inside of 1 minute in the first round, and you can see that blood in the left eye of Caitlin Neal. Nice takedown attempt here. Neal can't finish it. Korginas with a good sprawl to negate.
Yeah, she telegraphed that takedown attempt a little bit too much. Korginas seems to be in a rhythm here.
Korginas tests that right kick right up, and then Neal responds with a side kick. Front kick caught there by Catherine Korginas, who now pushes Caitlin Neal to the cage.
Yeah, Korginas really doing a great job and not letting the larger Neal bully her in this fight.
Neal reverses position here with 10 seconds. Now the final 5. Round 2 to come on Fubo Sports.
Here's a look at the first round action. Neal again, was able to control against the fence. Eats a lot of little hooks here. Not sure what caused the cut. I'm trying to get a look if it was a clash of heads or if it was one of these hooks that gave her that cut. A lot of control against the fence by Neal in that first round.
We'll take a look inside the corner of Caitlin Neal. You can see that is not an insignificant cut over the left eye. Great work by the cut man here to get it closed up and stop the bleeding for now.
Yeah, Scott Ream doing a great job there on the eye, but you know, good for Neal that it's on the outside of the eye and not dripping into the eye, because that can make things very complicated for Caitlin Neal.
Look at that. That is masterful work in the corner by the cut man. All the blood pouring at the end of round number 1 on Caitlin Neal has stopped for now. Catherine Korginas will probably zero in on that.
Yeah, I'm liking this side kick much better than the teep, because it seems like Neal's base is not ideal. You know, she's getting pushed back, she's getting pushed off balance and getting rushed by Korginas, so I think that side kick is going to work out better for her, just like that.
I bring it up all the time, Kenny, but an interesting first round to score, because you got the damage showing on Caitlin Neal. She had the control position for most of the first round, but maybe didn't mount enough meaningful offense. You just never know how judges are going to score around like that.
Yeah, I mean, typically, again, you know, the first order of priority when it comes to judging is going to be damage, really effective striking. And when you see blood like that, and you see Korginas just a little bit more effective there in round 1, you got to think the judges are going to go that way. I mean, if I'm in the corner of Caitlin Neal, that's what I'm telling her. She needs these next 2 rounds.
More of those short right hands, which were the thing that actually opened up the cut on Caitlin Neal's eye. And there the dripping starts again.
Yeah, and Korginas knows that's where she needs to attack. Neal doing a much better job, though, getting those knees going. You see the left knee acting as a knee shield to protect against those knees of Neal.
Catherine Korginas pressed against the cage right now, but she told us in the fighter meetings, nothing that any of these women can do to me is going to scare me. She was a PhD candidate doing anthropology research with chimpanzees, and told us a great story of one day she accidentally tripped over a baby chimp, and Mama Chimp gave her a look. She says, if I'm not scared of chimpanzees, these women cannot freak me out. Actually abandoned her PhD candidacy to pursue this dream of mixed martial arts glory. Catherine Korginas, fascinating. All right, Paige Van Zandt. We know Catherine Korginas isn't intimidated right now, but she is pressed up against the barrier. How does she get out?
She does have her back on the cage right now. She needs to reverse, and honestly, she's the one who went into this tie-up position that ended up having her back on the cage. She was feinting really well, getting really, really big reactions out of Neal. She just needs to capitalize off of those feints and actually throw some strikes. She was connecting very well out in the open. She didn't need to tie up, and that's how she put her back on the cage.
Megan Anderson, we're now 5+ minutes into Caitlin Neal pressing Catherine Korginas against the cage. Do you stay with this separation if you're Katniss and not try to get back in where you're having a hard time mounting offense?
I mean, I feel like Neal is struggling to mount some offense, even on the feet as well. That's why I feel like she's wanting to control on the cage. You know, Korginas is having some success with these big shots, and that's what is initiating Neal to want to clinch up. So it will be interesting to see how she adjusts and if she can find something to really exploit as the fight continues.
Ian Parker, the big-time favorite in this fight, has got blood running down her face right now. How do you see it?
Right now, if the round were to end right now, I would say it's 1-1, because I think in the first round, Korginas had the damage over the control. In this round, I think the control actually, due to the little damage, I guess, between the round, I think Katniss has to throw more, has to do something if she wants to earn a contract, because right now, a win's not going to cut it.
Double jab there from Caitlin Neal. Sorry, Kenny.
Yeah, no, sorry, Sean. I think that's a good assessment there by Ian Parker because, you know, as far as effective striking here, they're relatively even. That's a nice axe kick there.
Beautiful axe
by
kick.
Caitlin Neal. That was gorgeous. But when things are even, then you go to the control. You go to that second order on the judges as far as control. That's only if you only go to control if effective striking is even, and it's been pretty even. But that axe kick was beautiful from Caitlin Neal.
And you're looking for significant moments in a fight that is so close like this. Can that be one that decides this round? We'll see. Nice right hand there from Caitlin Neal.
Yeah, nice little blitz there from Caitlin Neal, and she needs this and more as we get to the end of round 2. Oh, there's another one. Beautiful one, too. And another.
Final few seconds of this second round. Neal presses Koroginas against the cage, and we head to round 3.
Here's some of the action from round 2. That cut from round 1. Here's an attempt of the takedown here by Neal, defended by Koroginas, who uses the fence really well. Again, makes space with her shin and lands some shots, even defensively. But here you see a little of the offense from Neal.
Kenny Florian, give me some replays here from the second round.
You got it. We talked about Caitlin Neal needing to get more aggressive. Look at that beautiful axe kick up and over the arms and the guard of Koroginas there. Landed beautifully. And here's a nice 1-2 up and over the guard as well. Nice finish. 1-2-3 there from Caitlin Neal. And those combinations may have won the round for her.
There is Katniss Caitlin Neal in the black.
Ready, go.
Catherine Koroginas in the gray. Third and final round here of our final bout of the evening. Not just looking for a win, but for a contract to be part of the flyweight division inside the PFL. Neal probing out with those kicks, trying to keep Koroginas off of her. Nice blitz again from Caitlin Neal. And aside from being a fighter, Caitlin Neal is a fitness coach, so for her, you don't have to question the gas tank. She usually does get stronger later in her fights, but Catherine Koroginas appears to be right there as well.
Yeah, still pretty even when it comes to the striking. Caitlin landing, or trying to land from the outside. Looked like she took an eye poke there.
Right there.
Catherine Koroginas knew it as soon as the finger went in. They both paused the action.
And it was the same eye that already has damage above it with the cut. But Koroginas went to try to frame and keep Neal on the outside. That ended up being an eye poke there.
Well, Caitlin Neal just told us the cut is actually from a headbutt.
Wait right there for me.
We'll have to go back and find a replay of what caused the cut, but
1 point, finger to the eye.
Already a point.
1 point, finger to the
that
eye.
means that Koroginas was warned earlier in this fight. You saw Larry Folsom.
Are you ready?
And this is a close fight, Kenny, so that is not insignificant.
No, I mean, that could be devastating to the cause of Catherine Koroginas there. Losing a point here, this might lead to her really trying to get very aggressive, and she may need a finish now in this round.
Neal now getting aggressive. Sneaks a right hand in as she's moving backwards. Koroginas pursuing. Neal grabs a hold, throws a knee up the middle.
Yeah, it seems like Neal is doing a good job of getting to that clinch, but she's not really committing to the takedown there. A little hesitant.
There is a possibility here with third round up for grabs, Kenny Florian, that round 1 potentially goes to Koroginas. Round 2, I think, belonged to Caitlin Neal. If Koroginas wins this round but has the point deduction taken, that we're talking about a draw.
Yeah.
So that's always a possibility. Caitlin Neal needs to take advantage of the situation, an opportunity that point deduction opens up for her.
Yeah, no question about it. She needs to up her volume here when it comes to the striking game. Needs to commit to these takedowns as well. She's trying to get her hip in, but again, that knee shield, you see the shin there across the leg of Caitlin Neal. preventing those hips from entering and getting underneath her center of mass.
Less than 3 minutes for either of these women to make their case, not only to win the fight, but to win the contract. Nice left hand there for Caitlin Neal. Low kick from Korginas. And another. Megan Anderson, Catherine Korginas lost a point on the judges' scorecards here. Will that be a factor if we head to the decision?
I think it's definitely going to be a factor, particularly if this fight is so incredibly close, like you guys were saying. And if she happens to win this fight, then, I mean, that could even this particular round out. So I'm really interested to see how this continues as she gets the eye poke again.
Caitlin Neal did move into the open hand there of Catherine Korginas. And Paige, we're talking about a close fight, we're talking about point deductions, but more importantly, how do you win a contract when this fight is so close?
This is an incredibly close fight. Honestly, when it goes to the judges, I have no idea who's going to pull away unless somebody gets a finish. This is tough. These girls, they put on a really good fight. Unfortunately, there's been some eye pokes, some points taken, but altogether, it has been a very good fight.
Sam Darnold, how do you see this one on your scorecard so far?
Yeah, man, I mean, I don't know, to be honest. You know, especially with the point deduction, you would love to see, I mean, Caitlin and Korginas both just let it go for this next minute, just a full-on sprint to the end, and may the best woman win.
Ian Parker, how you feeling about your bet here?
You know what? That point deduction is going to change everything because right now I think Korginas has landed the better shots in this round. Neal's going back to the well with the control. I think if she doesn't turn it up, we're going to look at a draw here.
Neal may be attempting to steal this round with a takedown, goes upstairs with her left hand. More short right hooks. And Caitlin Neal, successful in this takedown, goes right to the back, but Korginas has her head.
Oh, look at this. Now she gets one hook.
Katniss has got her arm around the neck of Catherine Korginas. Can she finish? Oh, what a rollout by Korginas.
See, I don't know why Neal is trying to let her get up there. You know, that was a nice exchange that maybe swung the round in her favor, but why wouldn't you try to stay on top there and put emphasis on this round?
Final few seconds of a great fight. And after the bell, that one doesn't count. Came after the bell, Kenny Florian. Yes. Caitlin Neal, Catherine Korginas. We go to the judges' scorecards and find out who wins when we return. Challenger Series on Fubo Sports.
Here's a look at the entire fight. Lots of action against the fence. Caitlin Neal, aggressive in these positions, able to control well, land some shots. Lots of exchanges in the center of the cage. There's a beautiful axe kick that partially landed. She got some toes to face. There's an eye poke there in the third round. And the referee did take a point away. That's a big factor here since the fight made it to the distance. Here's a look at that takedown attempt, or not the takedown attempt, the takedown and the back take by Neal. She wraps the neck immediately, but a very good escape here by Korginas, who was able to stand up and land a shot before the round was over.
Fight fans, Fubo TV, try it free. Watch PFL on Fubo. Get over 100 live channels of sports shows and more for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days for free by signing up at FuboTV.com/PFL, FUBOTV.com/PFL.
All right, let's check out the Air Force Reserve post-fight stats. It was a close one, and the numbers pretty much indicate that. Very close on total strikes, arm strikes very close as well. Leg strike advantage for Caitlin Neal, and Sean is in the cage. and he is ready with a official decision. Sean.
After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 29-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Katniss Caitlin Neal. So Caitlin Neal, our final winner of the night. That means we've got 4 Shayna Young, Dirty Dez. In 60 seconds, we pair 4 winners down to 2 finalists. We've still got to give away a PFL contract. All that to come on Fubo Sports.
This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
What a fight.
The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen. Unbelievable!
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
Again, we are coming to you live from Universal Studios Orlando, Florida. Here's a take a look at the PFL 2023 Challenger Series schedule. Again, we've already awarded 4 contracts. 1 more will be awarded tonight. That Jean took it for the welterweights. Amanda Levy for the women's featherweights. Abraham Babley, the Brit, for the heavyweights. And last week, Elvin Espinoza for the lightweights.
All right, welcome back to PFL Challenger Series action. We've got 4 winners tonight, but we've only got 1 contract to give away. Before we narrow this down to 2 finalists, a word for our winners from President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo.
Congratulations, ladies, on winning your fights. As you know, there's only 1 contract, so good luck to you, ladies.
That's what the big boss says. Now we narrow it down to 2 finalists. If I call your name, please step forward. Lisa Malden, please step forward. And Dirty Dez Yanez, please step forward. Now, you the fans at home, you step in. It's time for the Bud Light fan vote. You have a say in who actually wins the PFL contract. Go to pflmma.com/vote to cast your vote right now, or you'll see that QR code on your screen. Hold up your phone, scan the QR code, and vote right now on who you think should win the contract. You can see these percentages change live. Just scan, just hold up your phone, scan the QR code, and vote on who you think should win. So how did we get here? How did we get to these 2 finalists? Let's take a look at the Redcon 1 highlight package for Lisa Malden. Taking on Helen Peralta, Malden moves to the mount after takedowns in round 1 and round 2. Pours on the damage and gets the lone finish of the night. And the Redcon 1 highlight package for Dirty Dez. Mixing it up with the strikes, digging to the body. Level change and a nice takedown for Dirty Dez on her way to a decision victory. The Bud Light fan vote continues for only a few more minutes. Scan that QR code or go to pflmma.com/vote. Cast your vote. Who do you think should win a PFL contract and a place in the brand new women's flyweight division? We'll give out a contract when we return on Fubo Sports.
This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
What a fight.
The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen. Unbelievable!
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
Again, Universal Studios Orlando, Florida, our home for this 2023 PFL Challenger Series. We thank you for joining us again. Very important. Each night we have 4 fights. 1 contract is awarded. The 4 fight winners are eligible to win the contract. The PFL selects the 2 finalists. Once the PFL selects the finalists, the celebrity panel gets a vote. You, the fans, get a vote. If those 2 votes are the same, then that is our contract winner. In case there is a draw, then Ray Sefo makes the final choice. And here's a look at some of our contract winners from this 2023 season. Thad Jean remains undefeated. The welterweight standout, we're expecting a big future from him. Women's featherweight Amanda Levy, the jiu-jitsu stylist, getting it done, standing up, showing she is a complete fighter. The Brit Abraham Babley, the heavyweight, making quick work of his opponent, getting the TKO win in round 1 with ground and pound. Last week, Elvin Espinoza with this rear naked choke win, making it look easy. Again, who will win tonight? The debut of the PFL Challenger Series Women's Flyweights. And don't forget, March 3rd, we're going to come with men's featherweights. March 10th, the men's light heavyweights. And March 17th, our last week, week 8, where we have a second chance fights, which basically means we give another opportunity for fighters we've seen in this Challenger Series schedule to win that contract. Again, we don't make it easy. They will have fought twice in those 8 weeks for that opportunity. So far, we've had great fights in basically every category, every weight division thus far. Lots of talent here with the winners.
Welcome back to Orlando, Florida, home of the Challenger Series here for Professional Fighters League. Women's flyweights, 2 finalists inside of the cage. 1 contract still to give away. Kenny Florian is with our celebrity panel. Kenny?
Sean, that's right. I want to start with our celebrity judges here. Sam, what were your thoughts on the performances of both these ladies?
Yeah, both ladies, I mean, they fought so hard tonight. And really, guys, it was just an honor to be able to watch you fight as a fan of the sport. Just great performances, and just again, it was an honor to watch you fight.
Paige, how about you?
Honestly, both these girls are extremely talented. We have a beautiful TKO from Lisa, early double leg, great takedowns in the second round, amazing cage control, and dominant performance by Desiree. So really, really good job.
And Megan, what'd you think?
I think it was the takedowns of Malden in the first fight, and in the second one, the aggressiveness of Yanez. I was incredibly impressed by both of them tonight.
All right, Paige. So what did the judges decide?
The judges have come back with a unanimous decision of Dirty Desiree Yanez.
There you have it, Sean.
All right, Dirty Dez gets the vote of the celebrity panel, but that's only 1/2 of the decision-making process, potentially 1/3 if we have a tie here. So let's take a look at the fan vote. The Bud Light fan vote at home. Polls are closed. And the fans say 61% of the vote favoring Dirty Dez Yanez. So Dirty Dez joins the brand new PFL Women's Flyweight Division. President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo, steps in with the medal, the hat, the t-shirt. All that stuff is great, Dirty Dez, but more importantly, you got the contract. Not only did you fight, you had to watch and see how your performance compared to these other competitors tonight. I can see the emotion on your face right now. Tell me what this means.
My life is about to change, and I've been working so hard for this, and it's really nice to get out of the gutter and start a whole new adventure, so thank you.
Dirty Dez, welcome to the PFL. That's all for week 5. 5 weeks down, 3 more to go. We're back again next Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Fubo Sports. It'll be men's featherweights stepping into the cage to fight for a life-changing PFL contract and, of course, a shot at the $1 million prize at the end of the year. From all of us here at the PFL, see you next week on Fubo Sports.